Good afternoon, everyone, especially Jules. Let's translate lines 588 to 623. Cum, when my alma parens, when my kindly mother, videndam, appeared before me, literally showed herself to me, never before, so tam clara, so beautiful, before eyes, literally in sight, and she refusit, she gleamed per noctem, throughout the night, in her pure radiance, confessa, showing her divinity, such as she is, showing her divinity, and then we wanted to say qualis, literally of such kind, or in appearance and stature, and in qualis, literally, and in appearance, and quanta, and literally of what type and of how great, and in appearance and in stature, as she is accustomed to be seen by the karikolis, by the other gods, by the gods, and grabbing my hand, she catching me by the hand, she continued. She stopped me, and she spoke these words, and she also spoke these words from her roseo ore, and she added these words from her rosy lips, from her rosy mouth. Nate, again, the beauty that I think I talked about there. Nate, my son, what Nate, what great anger stirs up this. So quis tantus, what great dolor, what great upset, what great resentment, excitat, stirs up, good line this for, quotes for anger and furor, irat furaque kind of thing. What great resentment stirs up such indomitable, such ungovernable, uncontrollable iras, anger. Quid furis? Why are you raging? Where has your care for me, cura, where has your care for me, recessit, fled to? Non prius aspicies, will you not first see, non aspicies, will you not first see where you have left your father, where you have left your parentem, your father, Anchises, fessum aetate, worn down with age? Will you not first see where you have left your father, Anchises, worn down with age, and whether Creusa, your wife, superet conjuncsque Creusa, whether or not Creusa, your wife, survives, and your boy Ascanius. All these people, the Greek lines surround on every side. So Graiai, the Greek lines, erant, surround, omnes, quos, all of these men on all sides, and ni mea cura resistat, and if my love were not preventing it, nec ni mea cura resistat, and if my love didn't stop it, jam flammai, now the flames would have destroyed them, the flames would have now tolerant, swept them aside, and the inimicus and the hateful, or the hostile sword would have drunk, hauserit, would have drained them, would have drained their lives. Non tibi faci, so here we've got non tibi facies in visa lacaine. So now we've got that next bit. Know that it is not the hateful face of the Laconian woman. It is not non tibi. It is not the invisa. It is not the invisa facies. It is not the hateful face of the Laconian woman, the daughter of Tyndareus. It is not Paris. It is not Paris that is culpatus, that is to be blamed, but the gods, but the divum, the inclementia divum, but the gods, the relentlessness of the gods has evertit, that the gods, the relentlessness of the gods, overturn has opes, this wealth, and they have toppled Troy from its pinnacle. Aspice. Look. Here's that moment we talked about here where she reveals the gods. For, and you need to go all the way down here, eripiam. Look. For I will tear away eripiam nubem, for I will eripiam nubem, for I will tear away the cloud, all the cloud, for I will tear away all the cloud, which now, for I will tear away all the omnem, the cloud, omnem nubem, governing all of that, which now, here was one of those Virgilian periods we talked about, which now, drawn over your sight, which now, obducta tuenti, drawn over your sight, dulls your mortal vision, habitat visus dulls your mortal vision, and with its dampness, with its umidam, it covers all around you with its dampness. 2, with its umbra, with its shade, with its dampness, I suppose we would say there, of the cloud. 2, ne. Fear, do not fear, ne. Time, do not fear the commands of your parentis. Do not fear the commands of your mother, nor refuse to obey her orders. Do not fear the commands of your mother, nor refuse recusa parere to obey her preceptis, her instructions. Hic. Here, where you see, hic, here, ubi, where you see, ubi vides, where you see, shattered piles and rocks piled upon rocks, where you see shattered piles and rocks ripped up, and rocks ripped up from rocks, and saxa avulsoque saxis. Here, where you see shattered piles and rocks ripped up from rocks, and smoke twirling up mixed with dust, and fumum, smoke, rising up undantem, mixed with dust. Neptunus, Neptune shakes the walls and the foundations that have been ripped up by his mighty trident. Neptune, it shakes the walls and the foundations, shakes the walls and the fundamenta and the foundations, ripped up by his mighty trident, and he eruit on jambement there, and he pulls up the whole city from its base. Hic. Here, Juno, most fierce of all. Here, Juno, most fierce of all. Juno, tenet. We've spoken at length about this. Is at the front, holding the Scaean gates, helping the Greeks to enter, calling them in, summoning them in. Here, Juno, at the front, prima, most savage, holds the Scaean gates, and wearing her steel furens, in a frenzy calls her allied band from the ships. Here, most savage Juno at the front holds the Scaean gates, and raging, she, Acintaferro, clad in steel, she calls a group of her allies from the ships. Jam sumas. Now, on the highest towers, look and see, respice, look back and see, Tritonian palace sits. Now, see, turn around and see, Tritonian palace is planted, sits on the highest towers, gleaming effulgans in the storm cloud, and with her grim gorgon. Ipse pater, my father himself, is giving the Greeks, sufficit Danais, gives courage to the Greeks, and auspicious strength. He himself stirs up the gods, suscitat Deos, he himself stirs up the gods against the Dardan arms, eripe. Take flight, my son, eripe fugam, and put an end to your labori, to your suffering. Nowhere will I leave you. We just did that final moment when he sees the star, didn't we? I will leave you nowhere. Nusquam abero, I will leave you nowhere, and I will set you down safely, limine, on the threshold of your father. Dixerat, she had spoken, and she species noctis secondit, and she vanished in the thick shades, and she condit, and she vanished in the noctis, in the species umbris, in the thick shades of night, and she disappeared in the thick shades of night. Apparent, notice the verbs at the start of the sentence, apparent. Terrible shapes came to view, and then we have this unfinished line building up the tension. Apparent dirai, awful shapes come to view, and hating Troy, apparent dirai facies, awful, dreadful shapes come to view, apparent appear, and hating Troy, numina magna, great spirits of the gods. Well done, everyone. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow when I will translate another unseen and hopefully another bit of the Virgil.